again, but it was just non-stop, wasn't it? It was just full of drama. And I have to give Fury credit because he dug deep and he got the win. And it was brilliant for boxing, brilliant for the heavyweight division, because we need fights like that, and we need nights like that, and everyone's talking about it. And people, get people say, "Oh, you're gutted, aren't you, that Fury won?" No, I wanted him to win, and even better if we get a fight like that where broadcasters, fans, media, the sport say this is a massive event. So you've got, within the last 3 or 4 weeks, you've had 2 big heavyweight fights, and that was right up there with what I think it's fight of the year so far. And it was one of the great heavyweight fights in the end. And as I said, technically it was a bit all over the shop, but who cares? It was thrilling. And again, props to both guys. An honest, massive congratulations to Fury, because it was a great win.
What's good, family? So mash the like button, subscribe, and lick off the bell. So we just heard there from your mans, Eddie, Hearn. Yeah? Now listen, let me tell you something right now, Eddie, because I like the way you're spinning this. Now I've got to put my hands in the air. You know the YB, I always take responsibility. And I said this fight was dead. And to be fair, the numbers was dead before the fight. But from the numbers after the fight, this fight has smashed AJ versus Usyk to bits. Even on my own channel, but looking at it from a global point of view, AJ versus Usyk weren't no one trying to watch the reactions to that, if that makes sense, after the fight. And rightfully so. Guess what? Because any AJ fans who have any integrity were absolutely disgusted with that performance. And that's why weren't no one fixing to hear about anything more about the fight. Most genuine AJ fans, the last thing you want to hear is anything more about that fight. Everyone wants to forget about it like a nightmare. No doubt. And it's quite funny, you hear Eddie Hearn say, "Oh, we've had 2 big massive heavyweight fights." No, we've had 1 big heavyweight fight. Whatever that you called 2 weeks ago, yeah? I don't know what you call it, but it wasn't a fight. It was a sparring session. It was an amateur sparring session. That's what it was. It wasn't no big heavyweight fight. What are you talking about? Yeah? I've seen more action God knows where else. Truth be known. 100%. So anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. Talking about Eddie Hearn and said it's a big fight. I have to admit, I have to put my hands in the air. Yeah, before the fight, they didn't sell no tickets, but after the fight, it's booming. And rightfully so. And this just shows you the power of a great performance. Fury and Wilder's careers are going to be zooming in the air. Not based on what I'm saying, but based on the numbers. The numbers don't lie, people. People have watched that fight, and people have, even the ones who haven't watched it yet, have heard about the reactions, and they're tuning in. They're all locked in. And the numbers are zooming in the air. This could potentially be what flips their careers around, if that makes sense. When you think about AJ and where he was, arguably at the top of it all, but guess what? His last few performances, and no one's trying to watch that. And no one's trying to watch Ruiz too. And AJ and his team, Eddie Hearn included, have got into this deluded sense that AJ is this magical thing where he doesn't have to. People forget, AJ's team included, quite sadly, that his career wasn't based on being a politician. Anthony Mandela Gandhi, that wasn't what he was based on. It's quite interesting. I saw a pop-up here from the AJ and Dillian White fight. It popped up, and they were doing the introduction to the fight. Or sorry, it was like a promo thing. And I heard the way AJ was speaking. He was ruthless back then. Just punking Dillian White. 24/7. Had no respect for Dillian White. And even after he smoked Dillian White, guess what? It's quite funny. We've slagged off here. Who was it? We slagged off Deontay Wilder. But when AJ smoked Dillian White, them two men weren't kissing and hugging. That's what you call the good old days. 6 years ago. That's how it should be. Yeah? Now, AJ, I love Dillian and Dillian my best mate. All this kind of stuff. All this political rubbish. And I'm afraid to say, it shows. Because you fight like a politician too. All confused looking. No doubt. But what I was saying was, in terms of the career trajectories, yeah, guess what? These two mans have boosted their career. And it's going to be interesting to see the numbers. Because guess what? AJ's numbers will not sustain with these kind of performances. Number one, losing. This whole narrative, I've seen people spinning it. Oh, 3-time heavyweight champion. It doesn't work like that, in my opinion. Keep losing to randomers. That doesn't make you a 3-time world champion. I don't believe. 3-time world champion is supposed to be, yep, you've gone away and you come back. not, I've got to keep getting beat every other weekend. Oh, I'm 10 times. Like, where does it stop? Because the way AJ going right now, he's going to lose to everyone. He's going to lose to Fury. So how many times? Oh, I keep coming back. No, it's not. For me, you get one off. It's not, oh, look, YB, he's 6 times. No, I'm sorry. You don't get credit for that. You don't get credit to keep losing to people and then getting it right the second time. Get it right the first time. Bottom line. Yeah? Come in there with the viciousness to get it done right the first time. How about that? Or don't bother. How about that? And I'm hoping the market, because I believe the marketplace is potentially one of the only ways Team Hearn and Team AJ may actually realise. And I urge all fans, don't buy into no more fights from AJ until he earns your coins. Do you understand? Don't buy no more. What for? Buy what? Support what? Support the gravy train? Don't think so. That's good for him. Ain't good for us. Yeah, people put their coins up in pay-per-view money to watch certain performances. They don't want to watch. Number one, you lose. Most importantly, other than losing, no one's got a problem supporting people losing when they leave a bit of themselves out there. How much of AJ did he leave out there against Usyk? None. That was a sparring session. Bottom line. And no one trying to watch. And no one trying to support that. Yeah. It's a fact. And no one trying to watch that. And no one trying to support it. And rightfully so. There should be a boycott. And trust me, you see how quickly Hearn and AJ clock on them when they realise the gravy train ain't so gravyful next time. Because who can blame them? Who can blame them at this point? They're thinking, well, we can go in fights and lose and nick belts and run around and who cares? We're still making $40 million. We'll keep riding the gravy train for sparring performances. No. Your career was based on AJ versus Dillian White, AJ versus Brazil, AJ versus Klitschko. That's what it was built on. And all the ones before that. But for some reason, lately, in the last 5 years, ever since the big money came, AJ's, I want to show I can box. No fans have asked for that, by the way. No one. I've never heard a fan say, apart from the shills, who want to convince everyone that it's the right way to go. Oh, YB, he got to learn, he got to develop, and he's showing really good skills in the Pulev fight. Wow. Wait, where was them skills at then? Yeah? In there for some old-looking ass dude. Bottom line. Oldest looking ass dude. Ain't no one trying to watch that. No one. Oh, I want to prove I can box a bit. That's tired. I kept telling people, ain't no one trying to watch that. People want electricity. People want to pay for electricity. People want to support electricity. People want to support passion. You know me. I've been critical of some of the things Fury's been doing recently, but guess what? When you put in them kind of performances, it almost... I'm not going to forget the things that have happened in the past, but at the end of the day, time moves forward. And it's an old saying, you're only as good as your last fight. Or you're only as good as your last news event. And Fury and Wilder's last news events are shit hot right now. Bottom line. Yeah? Bottom line. And AJ's suck. How about that? And even, I did a video on it yesterday, but even after this fight, AJ putting pictures out of him playing chess. Like, what? It's real cringy, man. What's wrong with you? Fury and Wilder just put on a classic and you're posting pictures playing chess. Seriously, what is wrong with this guy? I think he needs to retire, honestly. He needs to go away. He seriously needs to retire. Because he just ain't getting it, is he? Oh, I know what to do, yeah. Fury and Wilder have just fought. Let me put a picture of chess and show how educated and show how... You know what I mean? Show how worldly I am. Bro, you're a boxer. Yeah? You trade brain cells for coins. That's it. Let's not make it too complicated. You went Floyd. That's another thing. You went Floyd either. Fair enough, Floyd. He had a certain level of skill. You ain't never going to be that guy. Unfortunately for you. Number one, because you ain't got the team for it. Rob McCracken wouldn't know where to start training a Floyd. That's the first thing. And number two, bottom line, you ain't got the IQ for it. Simple as that. Because let's call a spade here, people. AJ, yeah, he He's not too... Fair enough. If AJ has the skills of someone with high IQ who's been doing it about 2 years, that's AJ's skill level. If AJ had the IQ of Floyd Mayweather, yeah, he'd be about 2 years into his professional career. The skills AJ exhibits are 2 years worth of someone high IQ. Bro, you're 13 years in, which means if you're 13 years in, there's two things going on. Number one, you ain't got the IQ you think you want to have. You're not Floyd. So what you need to do is put the chessboard away and realise who you are. What you are, what made you great, weren't you trying to be Floyd? Because you can't do that. You got your head boxed off by a Floyd. Yeah? We all saw what a Floyd does to you. A small Floyd boxed your head off. So put the chessboard away, yeah? And go back and watch some of your old fights. That's what you are. What you were supposed to do, rather than try and suck Floyd off, you were supposed to improve and refine that way of fighting. Become a more efficient, ferocious machine. Because even AJ in his prime as such, back in 2016 or 15, he never had the perfect defense. If that makes sense. He always had big holes to work on to become a more efficient killing machine. So that's where his energy should have gone. And that's what I said after the first Ruiz loss. I said, listen, this is a great point. It's time now, the next 6 months, for you to refine your machine. Instead, they chose the other option. Oh, let's lose our back end and run around. Let's throw out our whole career. Let's throw out 10 years of work and completely redefine ourselves. And then obviously all the AJ shields came out and said, oh wow, 2 times, what? You lost to a bum, yeah? You lost to a bum who top rank fired. That's not 2 times. 2 times, in my opinion, is when you win the belts, you lose to someone great. You know what I mean? If you lost someone great, for example, if Fury had beat you, and you come back and beat him, I'll call you 2 times. You went 2 times losing to Andy Ruiz. I'm sorry, you're not. Because guess what? He lost to Areola. Yeah? The man who whooped you and the man you was shook off got knocked down by Areola, who's a 40-year-old washed dude. So don't give me that. That's not 2 times. Yeah? Losing to, and I hate to say it as well, losing to Usyk, someone we don't even know you can beat yet. But either way, even if you beat Usyk, that ain't 3 times. It's not. Usyk's a cruiserweight. Yeah? Usyk is an unproven cruiserweight. Who did Usyk beat at cruiserweight? That's all that. Who did Usyk beat from cruiserweight? Yeah, who's going in the Hall of Fame? Oops, no one. Who is Usyk beat from heavyweight? Who's going in the Hall of Fame? No one. So let's not make out that Usyk's all this and that. I think some of you man are going to end up surprised. What could happen to Usyk when he gets in there with a heavyweight who really wants it? I'd love to see Dillian White versus Usyk just to prove that Usyk ain't all that. He looks good versus heavyweights who are big for nothing, who ain't got no minerals. AJ made it. I've been saying it from the jump. AJ made him look super fantastic because he turned up and did nothing. It's a bit like Dillian White versus Robert Helenius. Robert Helenius made Dillian White look like God knows what because he didn't do nothing. Yeah? But anyway, I don't know, I've digressed there, but you heard Hearn there. He ranting him, oh, Fury this, Fury that. Listen, yeah, the fight was great. And what you need to be doing, Hearn, yeah, right now, for you, Hearn, what you need to be doing right now is sitting AJ down and telling him, listen, AJ, this is the cold hard facts. I want you to watch that fight, Fury and Eddie, rather than trying to convince the fans that, oh, look, people, look, we've had 2 great fights in the last 2 weeks. No, we haven't. Yeah? We've had 1 great fight in the last 2 weeks, and it weren't your man's. And the more you try and convince everyone it was, oh yeah, we've had 2 great heavyweight fights. Yeah, the sport needed this fight. The sport needed this, you're right. The sport did need Wilder and Fury. Because all the fans, myself included, after your man's, AJ fought, I was done with this sport, truth be known. It was a pitiful performance. Yeah? Disgraceful performance it was. So you're right, the sport did need this performance. That said, rather than keep blowing smoke up your man's ass, you need to tell him, AJ, do you feel you can perform like that? If you don't, retire. I know you're not going to do that, Eddie Hearn, because you love the coin. And that's what I hope people, for me, my policy is going to be, until you show me you got some nuts, because we haven't seen no nuts from AJ. Not in the Ruiz 2 fight, not in the Pulev fight. Because even in the Pulev fight, when he went crazy, it took him 5 more rounds. And he still didn't, going crazy against an old man who weren't throwing punches back. That's not balls. Balls is saying, listen, I told you what would happen. If I was training AJ, yeah, we'd have gone in there with our hands by our waist, Nas style. I'm going to walk straight forward with our hands by our waist. Why? Because I don't believe if he hit me with his best shot, he ain't going to do nothing. Yeah? That's how we would have gone in there. And we'd have gone in there, and guess what? We'd have gone in there with our hands by our waist, and we're going to walk straight forward. And if he does put us down, we're going to get back up and march forward some more and maul all over him. Yeah? Simple as that. It really is simple as that. Oh, YB just wants to see Rock'em Sock'em. Yeah, you're right. That's what the fans do want to see. Tell you what the fans don't want to see. You in there with some old man taking all damn day. Fury got Wilder out there quicker than you got a 40-year-old man who weren't throwing punches out of there. Oops. How can that work? Fury got Wilder out there quicker than you got 40-year-old Pulev, useless Pulev out there. It was quick as. And Fury was in danger. You weren't in no danger. Never once did you were in danger. But it took you all day still. Wow. That there says it all. 100%. So like I said, Eddie, what you need to be doing is telling your mans, AJ, can you perform like this? If you can't, retire. Because there's no one trying to watch it. And like I was saying, fans, you man, who put your coins in, who pay for tickets, who pay for pay-per-views, need to boycott the next one. Yeah? AJ, if I had my way, if I was in control of the universe, I could fix it, I'd give AJ and his team the shock of their lives. They'd sell no pay-per-views and they'd sell no tickets. And let's see if that puts a spark up his ass when he realises he ain't going to get a $40 million gravy train no more. What do you think this is? What you think you get life-changing money for doing naffle for sparring sessions? You think you get life-changing money for amateur sparring sessions? Get serious. And unfortunately, people ain't real like me. People are shills. So no doubt people will still keep supporting and all that crap. Oh, YB, you're not a real supporter. Yeah, you're not. You're right, I'm not a real supporter. I'm not going to support someone making a whole heap of money for not doing nothing. What's that about? Where's AJ's support for his fans? Yeah? When AJ was sitting there telling us all he's going to go for the KO, where was his support for us? Oops. Because I'll tell you where his support weren't. His support weren't burning up my William Hill coins, was they? They were not a lick of support for my coins. He's alright though, innit? His coins were... wait a minute. All the fans supported his coins. All the fans put their £20, £30 pay-per-view in. Where was his support for us? When he gassed us all about Kronk style. I didn't ask him to talk about Kronk and talk about KO. He's the one who said it. He's the one who gassed everyone up. He's the one who was pushing his William Hills. Yeah? So like I said, everyone needs to boycott the next fight. Bottom line. Now if he comes back and he shows something, then we can get back on, we can say, yeah man. You know what I'm saying? But until he shows something, what? Because unfortunately, the reason I feel it's imperative that the fans do something, the fans vote with their feet, yeah, is because unfortunately there's no one in AJ's circle who will tell him, if that makes sense. No one. So now it's up to the fans. Us man are the only ones, because no one in his team are going to say nothing. They've all got their head down. We need to stay up. Don't buy no tickets, don't buy no pay-per-views. Yeah? Let them numbers drop off a cliff. Send a clear message. Fans ain't down for this. Yeah? Simple as that. That's how it needs to happen. Go and buy Fury's pay-per-view. Go and buy Wilder's pay-per-view. Go and buy Fury's tickets. Go and buy Wilder's tickets. Because at least I'm half confident that they're going to get in there and have a good go. Win or lose. Your mans can't say the same. Bottom line. It's a shame I got to say this, but call me a liar. That's what you can't do. All the things you might be able to do, all the things you might be able to say, Yeah? You ain't saying why be alive right now. Eddie trying to ride on the coattails of this fight. You ain't nothing to do with this fight, Eddie. Oh, yeah, we had two great... No, we haven't had two great fights. We had one great fight. Yeah? And if you spend less time shilling, and more time actually thinking about what's happened here, you should be sitting there, AJ, we need to have a sit down here, because Fury and Wilder ain't playing games no more, and you fannying around. Are you serious about this sport? Do you have the seriousness them man have? Because if you don't, what are we doing here? If you don't, I think we should put a statement out to the fans. Yeah? Because AJ talk about being humble. AJ, if he's really humble, yeah, you need to come out and to be honest with the fans. Don't gas the fans up. Be honest. Say, listen, people. Truth is, I'm on the gravy train right now, and I'm just going to milk the sport for whatever it's got. I've got no intention of showing any balls. Yeah? If people want to buy it, they can buy it. If they don't, they don't. That's what you need to do right now. Be honest. Posting pictures of playing chess. And no one's going to watch that. Put a statement out. Have you got the nuts or not? No chess photos, no fruity, goofy Adam Smith and Johnny Nelson chess videos. That crap. I should have known then, to be honest with you. Whose idea was that? I bet it was AJ's idea. Guarantee it. I guarantee you it was Anthony Mandela Gandhi's idea. Oh, Johnny Nelson, Sky. Yeah, let's put a video of me and you playing chess to show how super duper intellectual edgy I am. What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Been hanging around with too many of these oligarch cats, I bet. Trying to prove you something you ain't. You're from Watford. Yeah? You ain't know whatever you... Just because you got some goofy MBE thing. That's what you think it is. That's what it must be. That's what it must be, you think it is. Oh, I got MBE and I'm this new funny style. Yeah, you are funny style. You got that right. All the way funny style. Yeah, super fruity. You're the fruitiest of them all. 100%.